going for? Oh, God. Here it is. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see if we're live and we have sound and stuff. Okay, cool. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a game that it has been quite some time since we have played Seduce Me 2: The Demon War. I'm Gina, aka the Gina Chu, and we are going to be diving back into this game. A lot of people were asking me to, you know, vary the video games a little bit, and I know some people missed this game, so we're gonna dive back into it. And so we did James's route already. We're gonna do Erik's route, which is this red one here.
Hold on there! Before you start the game, I need to ask you a few things. Don't want you getting lost now.
Hey, Lady Bugqueen! Welcome, my dear! I'm so happy to see you, and it's been a while since we've seen Kay.
First of all, have you read the first story, Seduce Me the Otome? Like,
okay, we can skip over this stuff. Yes.
Oh. Okay, awesome.
Here we go.
Next question. Oh, you do know this is Erik's route, right? You know, this...
Yes.
Oh, awesome. All right then. Erik's a nice guy once you see under his Playboy mask.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite out of all of them, to be honest.
Anyway, I have one last question for you. Some people like hearing...
Oh, no, we don't need trigger warnings.
All right,
Thank
then.
you. We're adults.
Just so you know, though, anytime you have the choice to have sex, you can totally say no and still
yes,
get the... I think that should be everything.
You forgot something.
And we will be not doing the sex scenes. We got an achievement of man's devotion because we started his route. We will not be doing the sex scenes in case you haven't watched the James's route in this game, or in case you may have forgotten because it has been a while. The intimate scenes in this game are way too graphic for Twitch, so unfortunately I will have to be skipping over them. If you want to see them, I suggest buying the game and supporting them, because Michaela Laws and Seraphim Entertainment, who are the people that created this game, put a lot of heart and soul into it, and I always believe in, you know, supporting game developers, so, you know, pick it up for yourself if you want to see the intimate scenes, but we won't be doing those here, unfortunately. So let's jump back in to the world of Seduce Me, and this is, I guess, the start of Erik's route. Look at that yawn. I'm also interested to see who James's wife is, because if you remember, in James's route, all the other 4 guys had wives, so I assume that James is also going to have a wife to kind of fill that role, since we're romancing Erik, and Erik's wife is not going to be in this story. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Erik's wife will be James's wife. I don't know. We'll see. I'm interested to see, I suppose. Lady Buckwheat says Erik is bae. He is bae. Alright. A sweet lullaby. One you would hear as you were rocked in your mother's arms as a child. I could not help but adore such melodies with every ounce of my being, smiling whenever one would play for me. It was only fitting that I would enjoy my dreams with the sound of one playing in my head. Oh God. If I'm gonna keep yawning, this is gonna be awful. My slumber was calm and peaceful as a sweet tune echoed in the abyss of my subconscious. I didn't know why, but I relished that tune that night. Strange, really, how a melody could calm any storm running through your heart. My storm was my engagement to Erik, my demon soulmate. Uh-oh. Yes, he was my soulmate, my prince. At the same time, he was indeed a demon. I adored him with every ounce of my being, and I was about to be married to him in the weeks ahead. I couldn't have been more nervous and excited about the whole ordeal. Still, the lullaby that floated in my dreams kept me calm and at peace. I wondered if the same music could soothe an actual child. Oh God, a child's laughter broke me from my peace, causing me to slowly open my eyes and awaken from my slumber. My eyes focused on the ceiling as I tried to figure out what the sound was. Was it part of my dream? It was effective enough to wake me up. I rose from the bed, looking around the room in confusion. Why had I heard a child's laugh, and how did it wake me up? Children laughing is always a creepy thing in stories, don't you think? It was strange to say the least. A child's voice? Oh my God. However, before I could contemplate about it further, a slight dip in the bed Nah. A slight dip in the bed to my side made me gasp softly in surprise. I looked to my side to see Erik still sound asleep beside me. He looked so peaceful and happy, like he was absorbed in a joyful dream of his own. I couldn't help but smile at the sight before leaning down and kissing his forehead. He shifted slightly, mumbling my name. Oh, God. It's been forever. Who did we pick for Erik? I don't remember. I'm the worst person. The worst person. Oh, God! Shelties loves this one. Okay, well, I'm gonna name her Shelties then, because I'm not gonna go back and try and figure out what I named everyone else. Honestly, I'll try to keep it as consistent. I have some of the names, but Ladybug, what's her name here? Oh gosh. I'm gonna call her Ladybug Shelty. Oh, I can't. Wow! Can I call her Lady Shelties? No. I'm just gonna start. Can you have Damien? Yes. Do I have this written down? Okay, hold on. Chip had Damien last time, but I will switch it over to you, because I haven't seen Chip in forever. And of course, all of my pens don't work. Okay. Okay, so Ladybug, you'll have Damien. We'll do Shelties for now. I giggled softly. He was just too adorable for words. I truly loved him with all of my heart. I love you. Oh, good job, Shelties. You're so sweet. I'm so out of, like, the visual novel thing. Oh, God. And I can't stop yawning. Jesus. Still, despite wanting to stay in bed a little longer with the man in my dreams, the child's laughter ushered me to slowly creep out of bed and leave the room to find where it had come from. Turning on the lights in the lobby, I looked around the main part of the mansion to find out where the laughter had come from. Whoa. Creepy. I heard the laughter trail off, as if the voice itself was moving and guiding me to where it wanted me to go. I maintained pursuit, not wanting to lose track of it. Yes, sounds like a good plan. Let's follow the creepy child voice. Any normal person would have been creeped out. Serious? Thank you. I, however, was brave enough to figure out what was going on by myself. Or stupid enough. Either one. I was led to my grandfather's office. It was his place of work as well as his sanctuary for his magic study. I knew that he studied magic and had come to accept it during my time with Erik and his brothers. Still, it was something I was curious about. I don't think we've ever seen this room at night either, which is kind of cool. The lights were on, but the laughter seemed to have faded away as I entered the room. Was I not in the right place? As I stepped further into the room, I felt a sense of nostalgia. Despite only ever finding the room after my grandfather's passing, something about this place made me feel warm and happy, like I belonged here. This was where my grandfather imagined his greatest toys and made them come to life. It was here where he studied endlessly about the demon world and demon magic. I felt like I was stepping into a museum of history. Oh my God. Thinking about it, I began to wonder what my grandfather would think if he knew that I was going to marry one of the incubi he had brought into the human world. I knew he had been the one to do it. Damien confessed to me when Erik proposed. It was a bit interesting to think about how he would have reacted. Would he be proud? Would he be disappointed? I could never know. I think he'd be happy. Erik's a good guy. I was broken out of my thoughts, however, as I heard the click of a lock unlatching the echo through the room. I turned my head towards the sound, pinning the origin of it to one of the nearby drawers. Why did it unlock on its own? I was a little nervous as to why it had done that. Oh, God. Are we gonna be idiots? Oh, God, I feel like we have to open it. I was indeed my grandfather's granddaughter. I felt my curiosity take control of my body and guide me to the drawer. Sliding it open, I saw two books neatly placed in the drawer, covered with a thin layer of dust. One was obviously my grandfather's magic book, and the other must have been his journal. I lifted both up and examined them, gingerly wiping the dust off of them. I wanted to read a bit more about each of them, but I wasn't sure which one to open first. which one should we go first with, guys? Because it doesn't look like this really affects the story, like, overall. Or it doesn't affect our ability to romance Erik. I'll put it that way. So what should we start with, guys? Grandfather's journal or the magic book? Shelties wants to start with the journal. Lady Buckwheat wants to start with the magic book. You guys are always the best. I can't believe Freggs is not here, by the way, because he was the one clamoring for this game for some reason. I'm closing my eyes and just moving my mouse all around. Wow, I'm in the corner. Alright, let's do... Oh gosh, I don't know. Let's do, you know what, we're probably gonna have to read the magic book anyway. Let's do the magic book. I opened the magic book first, wanting to explore its contents before seeing Grandfather's notes. Maybe I'd learn something. Yeah, I know you wanted to, Ladybug. I know you're one of the people that wanted to see it, but Freggy was like non-stop pestering me about this game. This always happens. Like, he pesters me about stuff, and then when I do it, he's not around, and then he gets upset. Poor Freggs. As I opened it, I was surprised to see that the first couple of pages were completely blank. What? What the? I continued to flip through the pages to find only more blank pages. Was this book not really a book, but a notebook of some sort? I stared at the pages, unsure of what its purpose was. You know, maybe, I don't know, maybe there's something we need to do to read what's in there. Maybe it's, like, invisible. As I gazed onto the blank sheets, however, they began to slowly fill up with words and images. Okay, yeah, so I was right. What? Oh, God. The images that formed on the pages looked to be painted with brushstrokes, while the wording was in elegant cursive that I could read clearly. The top of the first page, however, had a word in simple lettering. Spirits. I guess that's, we have a child spirit following us. I don't know. Why was the book wanting to show me information on spirits? The laughter that drove me to the room sounded like a child. Was it from a spirit? Oh, that's not good, Shelties. I read onward, curious as to why the book was showing me this. Spirits were categorized by their origins. Angels and devils could never be spirits, only reborn through a cycle to become angels and devils once again. Human spirits were either brought to heaven, purgatory, or hell, depending on what they had done during the course of their lives. If they were kind and good, they were gifted entry into heaven. If they were evil and cruel, they were sent to hell. I was surprised. Did this make Christianity legitimate? I don't know. It didn't mention God, so I wasn't entirely sure. I think, personally, I mean, I don't like to get too much into religious speak because it's a very controversial topic, but I think that if some kind of religious-y thing does exist, I don't think anybody in our world has quite gotten it right yet. Hold on one second. Typing with one hand is hard. I wanted to close the book, but my curiosity led me to read on. Demons, on the other hand, were either sent to purgatory or were reincarnated into a new demon. Demons could never be human. Well, unless you do Damien's route in the first game, then, well, I mean, come on. However, humans and demons shared one thing in common. They both could also end up not being sent anywhere. Sometimes a spirit could be trapped in either world, forever doomed to wander until something is fulfilled. Maybe we need to free this child's spirit. Ghosts existed too? This was crazy. And yet it made sense. Maybe those TV shows that featured ghost encounters actually had merit. I don't know about that. There was actually, a couple of old friends and I had this really funny storyline going on with a bunch of these characters that we created, where, they were the crew of a, like, ghost hunting TV show. Like, we all had multiple characters that we put into the story. One of my characters was the host of the show who, like, you know, would go into these old buildings and, like, feel these spirits, and it was totally set up. It was totally fake. They would have, you know, like, workers behind doors to slam them closed, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, that door closed on its own, it was a ghost. Like, it was totally fake, except the twist was that the person that hosted the show, actually could see spirits, and some of the stuff that she saw was actually legitimate, but because so much of the rest of it was faked, like, a lot of people that were working on the show thought that it was all fake, but it was actually very real, and the stuff that the host saw was actually, like, real supernatural stuff. It was very funny. I missed that storyline. It was good stuff. Anyway, the idea of seeing a ghost was a bit unbelievable. Sure, it was surreal enough to meeting demons and a devil, but ghosts seemed to be a bit more realistic in a way. Regardless of who you were in the human world, you knew about ghosts. Not a lot of people knew about demons. I suppose that's true. The fact that demons could also be spirits boggled my mind as well. Was it really possible to meet a demon spirit? Oh, God. The child's laughter reappeared, softly floating through the air and making me turn towards the door. I quickly followed it, leaving the room and returning to the lobby. Is anyone there? As I turned to the stairs, I could hardly believe my eyes. Oh, shit. A floating orb. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, ghosts and spirits and stuff usually take the form of orbs in this story. A floating orb, barely the size of my head, was floating down the stairs and towards the back doors. I gripped the railing and stared, not believing what I was seeing. Was this really happening? What was it even? A ghost? A spirit? Some illusion meant to trick me? I couldn't wrap my head around it. Still, it practically called for me to tail behind it. I continued to follow it. It seemed to want me to anyway. Was this a game? Oh my gosh, it is so hot. The real feel here on Long Island today, guys, is 113 degrees. Life is just a horrible thing today. It led me to the backyard, where it simply floated in the air near the gazebo. I stayed by the doorway, unsure of actually stepping out of the house to meet with it. It didn't move, so I could only assume it accepted my hesitation. Hello?
Hi.
Oh, it speaks. The orb gently spun itself around in a circle, almost like a happy child. For some reason, it made me feel really happy seeing it, despite it being a simple floating orb. It seemed friendly enough, so I stepped out into the backyard and slowly made my way towards it. It gently bobbed up and down as if it were waiting for me to approach. I stopped a couple feet away from it, not wanting to get too close in case it was a trick. Hi there.
Hi. What's your name?
Oh, it's 99 down in Texas. Well, I don't know how much humidity you get down south, but because I'm on Long Island, like, it's an island, the humidity is ridiculous. I think it's actually, like, 93 degrees or something like that today, but with the humidity and the real feel, it's 113 out there. My name? Oh, it's Shelties. I'm the best person ever because I'm Shelties. Do you want to join my Discord channel?
Wow, that's a pretty name.
I'm just gonna start making Shelties jokes the entire time. Thank you. Who are you?
Oh, I'm no one. I don't have a name.
I'll name you George. You don't have a name?
No. I wasn't able to get one. But that's okay. I'll get one soon.
You'll get one soon? Are you like the spirit of a demon waiting to be reborn or something like that, maybe? Roar, I'm Shelties. Join my Steam group, says Shelties. You should all join the official Chu-Chu Club Steam group, by the way. The orb, whatever it was, had to be the spirit of some child. Human? I didn't know. I wasn't sure. All I knew was how sweet and innocent it sounded. The child's voice was pulling at my heartstrings in all the right ways. The orb twirled around again with a small laugh.
Let's play together.
And Shelties hits the follow command. I love you, Shelties. You want to play? Is this going to be like... like play with me forever and ever and ever, like creepy playing, or do you just want someone to spend time with? Oh, I mean, what would we play? I almost couldn't believe the words coming out of my mouth. Was I really okay with playing games with a spirit? I mean, it was friendly, yes, but it was a spirit. What was I doing out in the middle of the night with it was another question I let go of and fade away in my head as I stared at the orb. My heart felt fuzzy and warm enough to ignore the doubt niggling at my brain. Yeah, this thing is definitely doing something to us. Ladybug Queen says, "Watch it be Diana." It is purple. That is. Shelties is like the most suspicious person. Every time something happens, she's like, "Suspicious, I'm calling traitor, I'm calling bullshit." Like, she is suspicious of everything, but the funny part is that she's usually right, though. The orb dipped and spun around my body, making me giggle and try to follow it. As it circled back to where it used to be, it almost bounced in the air happily.
Come on, let's dance.
Dance? I began to dance around the orb as it moved gracefully around my form. In my head, a song began to play as I had fun weaving and swaying with the orb. I felt light and happy, even though a part of my mind was questioning what I was doing. Why was I doing this? Why was I so accepting of this spirit? My body was moving on its own, but I was enjoying every minute of it. That sounds like an incubus or succubus issue. You know what? Ladybug Queen might be, I don't know if Diana's really... I mean, we know from James's route that Diana is in the middle of a war with the Demon Lord. So, I don't know if she really has time to mess with us or a reason, but something's going on. The orb followed along, matching each sway with one of its own. Soft laughter echoed from it once in a while after every couple of steps I took. It seemed to enjoy my company, which in turn somehow made me happy.
Princess?
Oh God! Hey! Hey! Habib, the fiance, hey, I'm totally not dancing with a random fucking spirit. The orb gasped and hid behind me as I stopped dancing. I turned quickly to see Erik standing by the doorframe with a confused but tired look on his face. Erik.
What are you doing out here, love?
I blushed, rubbing my hands together behind my back from embarrassment. I must have looked like a fool dancing in the yard in the middle of the night. I turned my head to look at the orb, but gasped in surprise when I realized that it had disappeared. Of course, he's gonna think we're crazy. What? Huh?
What's wrong?
There was... I was beyond lost and confused. What was happening? What had just happened? I turned back to Erik to see him walking towards me. I crossed my arms, realizing how cold the air night was, and smiled meekly at Erik. I just wanted to get some fresh air, that's all. Yeah, just act like it's not actually there rather than saying, "Hey, some spirit just chased me around the house and then made me dance with it and it was weird and help." You know, like that might be a good reaction. You know, the demon, he can help you figure it out. The child probably wants your soul. Why would you lie? God damn it, Anderson.
While dancing by yourself?
I stared at Erik, not sure of what he meant. If he was watching, he would have seen the spirit dancing with me. Tell him! Why in the fuck would you not tell him? And according to the walkthrough, you are indeed supposed to tell him. Obviously. You didn't see the orb that was dancing with me?
Huh? Orb?
Erik raised an eyebrow, obviously not understanding what I meant. Did he really not see it? It's true. There was a spirit here that looked like an orb and I was dancing with it. Not by myself. I knew I wasn't making sense. He didn't seem to believe me. Still, I didn't want to lie to him. He was going to be my husband soon, so we had to trust each other. Yay! Characters having sense and not doing dumb shit. If my reason sounded stupid, fine, but at least it was the truth. Erik finally smiled and reached towards me before petting my head.
Did you have fun then?
Wait, did he really believe me? I wasn't entirely sure if he did, but from the look he gave me, he was willing to accept my answer either way. Erik gently reached out and took one of my hands, placing his other hand on my waist. I looked up at him to see his lips curved into a small, playful smirk.
Would you mind if I dance with you then, Princess?
Of course, Erik is gonna be all fucking smooth and take it as an opportunity to be romantic. My face turned red at his question, but I smiled and nodded. I liked dancing with him. I tightened my hand over Erik, straightening up and leaning against his chest, ready to dance. Erik chuckled softly before leading me into a slow but elegant waltz around the backyard. I felt like I needed to thank the spirit later for giving me yet another wonderful memory with Erik. He led me around the backyard as if we were at a real ball. The moon served as a brilliant crystal chandelier and the wind became our music. What craziness are you spouting, Shelties? You're like... What conspiracy theories are going on in this chat? Eventually, however, we had to go back inside. The night was cold and it was very late. I didn't want the night to end, though. Watching Erik as we walked up the stairs to my bedroom, my heart began to flutter even more and a soft heat began to burn in my core. He was not only charming, but he was handsome and definitely knew what buttons to press to make me feel amazing. It didn't matter that he was an incubus. I really had fallen in love with him and was both romantically and sexually attracted to him. Though did I really want to pursue my desires right now? We did just stop dancing. Nah, we cannot. Because Twitch will not let us. I shook my head. I didn't want to ruin a romantic moment with sex. As much as it was amazing and good, it was not something that needed to be done every time we shared a moment together. Besides, I was tired. I just wanted to get some sleep and let the moment we had shared resonate in our memories. Erik led me back to our room and we both got comfy together in bed, ready for sleep. He nuzzled my forehead with his before pressing a kiss to it. I kissed him back before allowing my body to rest. Shelties, I explained this several times. We cannot do these scenes on Twitch. I'm sorry. I drowned in the warmth Erik's body gave me as I drifted off to dreamland. To my surprise, the child didn't return. I was a bit saddened, but I didn't let my thoughts linger on it any longer. I had a peaceful dream with Erik wrapped around me all through the remainder of the night. As the morning came, however, the other incubi essentially kidnapped their brother. Despite my minor protests, knowing that we had work to do on the wedding, the brothers were relentless. Bachelor party?
Stealing him for a bit. We'll return him later.
Bachelor party? Matthew, are you all about to get crunk, like, right now? 'Cause that would be hilarious. But we have to...
Everything will be alright. You can finish work on your dress while we keep him out of the house.
I mean, yeah, but...
You could survive a day without your love slave. You're marrying him, after all. It's not like he'll be gone forever.
Wow, Sam! With your sass!
Everything will be alright, Princess, I promise. As soon as we're done with whatever they want to do, then I'll come straight home.
Bachelor party! Okay. I love you. I could barely make out him saying I love you too as he was dragged away by his brothers. As the front door closed, I could hear Erik being thrown over someone's shoulder. Probably Sam's. I sighed before looking around the mansion. Since I was indeed alone, I had the chance to try and find that spirit again. Why did it run away the first time? I quickly rushed to the backyard looking around it. It was much brighter, yes, but perhaps the spirit was still there? Despite not being able to find it, I scoured the entire mansion in hopes of meeting the orb again. It was almost almost became a game of hide and seek, only I didn't know if the orb was hiding or was gone. After a straight hour of looking around, I gave up. The orb was nowhere to be found, and I was certain I wouldn't meet it again. I could only let out a sigh at the thought, but I shook my head to forget about it at last. It had given me a moment with my love, so I was grateful. I went back into my room and flopped onto my bed, not really sure what to do. I could have organized what I was going to wear with my dress, but I really didn't want to pull my dress out of the garment bag it was in. Staring at the ceiling, I felt my eyelids slowly getting heavy, and soon I was letting my sudden drowsiness take a hold of me. What was happening? Oh, Jesus. Why did I feel like sleeping? It was close to noon, or was it past noon? I somehow couldn't remember anymore. I allowed myself to fall asleep, blaming the search and the wedding stress that lingered in my mind for tiring me out. Oh, guys. Oh, my God. This child wants our blood. Dear Mother of God. My body floated in the darkness, met once again by a soft and peaceful lullaby. This nap was perfect, and I definitely deserved it. My body felt comfortable, and my thoughts were lulled into a quiet hum that accompanied the lullaby in the air. Creepy music box problem, Shelty says. Tell me about it. The only thing that would have made it better was Erik. As if my dream wanted to please me, an image of Erik appeared in my mind. He smiled as his heart-pulling smile at me, and I felt myself become warm and fuzzy just from his gaze. As he floated over to me, I became entranced in his eyes. My voice wouldn't come out despite wanting to say his name, but I wrapped my arms around his neck and pulled him close to me. He leaned into my embrace, ghosting his lips over mine teasingly. Was Dream Erik trying to seduce me in my own dreams? I pressed forward, wanting to kiss him. We both didn't make a sound, but let our kiss relay our love for each other between our lips. My heart pounded in my chest as he wrapped his arms around my waist and pulled me even closer to him. It was strange. He felt so real in my arms. I combed my fingers through his hair, feeling the pink copper strands on top of his head. Yet this was a dream. I knew it was a dream. His arms gently ran along my back and waist, not daring to go below it, but making wonderful shivers run up my spine with each stroke. I really liked this dream and tightened my hold on Erik, letting him know that I enjoyed his touch. So there is some shit going on. Erik eventually pulled away from the kiss and smiled down at me, running a hand over my hair and caressing my cheek. I stared up at him lovingly, feeling a soft swell in my lips from the kiss we had shared. What I didn't expect was him slowly leaning down and planting a soft kiss over my chest, just over where my heart was. I stared, unsure of why he did such a thing. As my heart began to feel warm and lighter, I let a silent sigh out of my throat, feeling the pleasure of its sensation. Erik slowly backed away and disappeared, but I continued to feel the warmth over my heart sweetly emanate through my veins like a slow adrenaline rush. What was happening to me? Tingles ran across every nerve in my body, making me shiver in delight. Either some other incubus or succubus is seducing her, or they just used Erik to get their hands on her in real life while keeping her in a dream state. I have no idea. Whatever this was, I liked it. I don't. Soon, the warmth lulled me into a peaceful hum and I curled into myself, wrapping my arms around my body from the comfort it brought. I felt at peace while my body felt like it was embracing the warmth enveloping it. It was strange, but I accepted the restful feeling. Yeah. Oh, what a surprise! I never saw this coming. What? Ah! That's exactly what Shelty sounds like when she freaks out, by the way. Actual Shelties. Ooh! From the darkness, dark laughter invaded the air, breaking the lullaby and making a sudden cold feeling wash over my skin. Before I could react, however, a large and deep pain invaded my chest, almost like a sword stabbing all the way through my body. I could not see anything of the sort as I looked down at my chest, but my hands tightened over where the pain had erupted from. What was happening? I coughed, feeling blood splash out of my mouth and drip down my lips. I gasped for air, disgusted at the coppery taste in my mouth, but I was unable to break out of the illusion. I needed to wake up. Ooh, the stabbing pain ripped through my insides as the invisible blades in my chest unsheathed itself from my torso, and I felt a stab through my stomach, more blood gushing from my mouth. Someone help me! I felt my body slowly start to shut down. Was I dying in my own dream? Why couldn't I wake up? Cold waves ran through my nerves, numbing my body as if I was indeed slowly dying. As blood dripped from my chin, I felt lightheaded in the darkness. But an almost violent shake broke me from my dream, forcing me to physically open my eyes. Oh yeah, he found us. I gasped for air, no longer able to taste blood or feel pain. I was back in my room, staring at Erik's concerned face as he held my shoulders. I shuddered from the experience, unable to forget the feeling of being stabbed in my own dream. Erik, however, had saved me.
Love, what happened? You were thrashing around and...
I didn't let him finish. I grabbed Erik's body and slammed myself into his chest, happy to no longer be trapped in the dream and thankful that he woke me from it. Erik wrapped his arms around me and gently rubbed my back, soothing me as I began to cry into his shoulder.
Did you have a nightmare?
Mm-hmm. It was terrible. I was being attacked by something in the darkness. I couldn't do anything about it.
Shh. It's okay now. You were safe. I'm right here.
I don't think that was a dream, honey. I could only nod as Erik rocked me back and forth, comforting me. It may have been a dream, but I was still mortified by it. It seemed almost too real to be just a dream. I didn't want to think about it anymore. I didn't want to remember the dream, especially how horrible it was. I was supposed to be getting mentally ready for my wedding, not having nightmares about dying. Erik kissed over my head and face, trying to soothe my sadness. He wiped away my tears and continued to hold me close until I was calm and relaxed. I tried to reassure myself that it was a dream. It was just a stupid dream. Just a nightmare. Or was it? Erik gently pulled away, not releasing me from his arms, and looked down at me with a soft frown.
I'm sorry that I left. I should have been here. making sure that you had good dreams.
Oh, he's so cute. I shook my head. Erik needed to spend time with his brothers. It was important enough to him that he let himself be dragged away by them. No, it's alright. I'll be fine.
Are you sure, Princess?
Yeah, I'm sure. I had to shake this off. I didn't know what was going on, but now Erik was here and could be with me in case anything else had happened. After I'd finally calmed down, Erik told me about what the boys had done. They took Erik to a cafe deep in downtown Chicago, just wanting to have a brother to brothers talk with him. I was happy that he got to spend time with them, but Erik had practically rushed home to return to me. The dream did not appear again that night. Erik used his powers to enter my dreams and kept me safe from anything that tried to hurt me, and thankfully nothing did. However, there was a strange feeling in my gut that didn't sit right with me. For some reason, Erik's comfort didn't make me feel okay. It was as if I didn't want him to be in my dreams. My heart knew this was a problem, but I was unsure of how to respond to this new feeling. Slowly, as the days passed by and our wedding approached, the feeling became more aggressive. Soon I was becoming irritated more easily. I became angry at the smallest things, the steps he took, the things he'd wear, the looks he gave me, or what I assumed he gave me. Oh god, yeah, this is like the Demon Lord's attempt at like forcing a lover's spat. Like, what is going on? I want answers, damn it. No, Erik, I don't want to do anything right now.
Love, I didn't say any.
You're looking at me with those sex eyes again. He's a fucking incubus.
Sex eyes? I swear, I wasn't doing anything of the sort.
You're doing it now! I couldn't control the words that were flying out of my mouth. Something was wrong, but I continued to speak cruelly towards Erik. My heart was at odds with my mind that I didn't know why I was doing it, but I continued my barrage.
What is going on?
What is going on? You're what's...
I'm sorry.
I felt Erik's enthrallment take over my body, forcing me to go weak in the knees and mule out in response. My mind stopped thinking about attacking Erik, and my heart felt entirely relieved that the urge was gone. Erik gently wrapped his arms around me, being sure to keep his arms around my shoulders, and rocked with me, trying to calm me down.
Love, are you having doubts?
No, I'm not. I don't know what I...
You swear you're not having doubts about us?
I promise. I was able to speak the truth under his spell. It was strange. It was like I was under a curse when I wasn't under his enthrallment, somehow despising every little thing Erik did. Yet I knew it wasn't true. I loved everything about him, but my mind wouldn't agree. I gripped Erik's shirt, wanting to stay close and show my true feelings for him.
Listen to me, okay? I love you so much. If you have any doubts on us getting married, then please just tell me. I don't know what's going on in your beautiful head.
I love you too. I really, really do. I don't know what's happening to me. It made no sense. Why did I despise Erik yet love him? My mind, heart, and body were at odds with each other, and I wasn't sure what to do. This went on all the way until our wedding day. Somehow Erik managed to deal with me the entire time, enthralling me when things became rough to keep me calm. The other incubi tried to decipher what was going on with me, but none of them could figure it out. I was going to marry Erik, and then I was going to figure out what was wrong with me. I knew I still loved him with every inch of my heart, mind, body, and soul, so feeling disdain like this was not natural for me. Deslin, what is up, my friend? Twitch is being funky, that is not good. I had asked Erik to place me under enthrallment for our wedding in case I lashed out again. He reluctantly agreed and stayed with me the morning of our wedding day. I was supposed to dress alone and be by myself, but I needed Erik to keep me in check. I felt ridiculously warm and fuzzy as I stood in the bathroom, having to come out of the hot shower with Erik. We didn't do anything together, but he remained close, enough to keep me enthralled and remain energized enough to maintain the enthrallment. Erik gently ran my brush through my strands of hair, being as sweet and caring as he always was towards me. Because of the enthrallment, I felt each stroke and derived so much pleasure from his brushing. It was hard not to moan.
Well, love, today's the big day.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I truly hope so. I'm the happiest man alive to be able to soon call you my wife.
I want to be your wife, and I want you to be my husband. I felt like crying. Why did I have to be enthralled to say such things? I really loved him, but somehow I couldn't bring myself to say it without him casting his spell over me. Erik looked at me through the bathroom mirror and gently smiled, believing me and placing a small kiss on my cheek.
By the way, are you using a new soap?
Oh my gosh, adorable. Huh? I looked at Erik, unsure of what he meant. I'd used the same soap I always use, so my scent shouldn't have been different. Erik tilted his head and gently inhaled again before smiling a little wider.
You smell different. I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's not a good indication. I blushed not because of the enthrallment, but because I didn't know I had a different smell. Was something that off about me? It couldn't have been that drastic, right? Erik finished brushing my hair and smiled, kissing my head.
All right. Time for you to get into your dress. I'm afraid that I can't join in dressing you as much as I want to. Can't see the bride in her gown before the wedding. I also have to get to the ceremony venue to get my tuxedo. However, my enthrallment should stay on you until you arrive.
I tried to fight back, but Erik held up his finger.
No. I promise that everything will be okay. As soon as I see you, I'll enthrall you again, and we can go through the ceremony as planned. Okay?
As much as I wanted to fight it, I was thankful that Erik was willing to go through all of this just to make sure I wouldn't throw a fit, despite me not wanting to go in the first place. Oh, not wanting to in the first place. I agreed and earned a small kiss from him, which I relished.
All right. I love you. I'll see you soon.
I nodded, smiling back at him before he slipped on his regular clothes and left the mansion. I felt the enthrallment on me ebb and flow through my body, so I needed to hurry and get ready before it wore off. I got dressed in the wedding dress of my dreams and smiled as I prepared my hair and jewelry. I really did look like the perfect bride, ready for her big day. Why I was acting out against it, I would never know, but I was going to fix this after saying I do. As I stared at myself, I could see a small glow around my body. Was it Erik's spell? I giggled, wrapping my arms around myself and enjoying the feel the spell had on me.
I knew it! That girl has demon magic.
Oh, hey, it's our friends, the plot device. What the?
Then quit talking and let's take her! The Demon Lord will be so pleased.
Who? Before I could turn to search for the voices, I felt hands grab a hold of my feet, and I looked down and lifted my dress. Two pairs of evil-looking hands had tried to take hold of my ankles, reaching through a dark red and purple pentagram. I shrieked, trying to pull my legs away, but I couldn't stop them as they swiftly pulled me into the ground. I was pulled deeper into the darkness. I was no longer in my room. I was being dragged through a dark void, one that I couldn't escape. I reached out and clawed at the dark, trying to find something to grab onto. I tried to pull my legs away from the hands that were holding them, but couldn't pull free. What was going on? Why was this happening? Someone help me! As if someone had heard my screams, I suddenly felt the hands let go and disappear, leaving me to float in the darkness that they left me in. I shut my eyes. Please let this be a dream. Please let this be a dream. I finally felt a surface under my feet, and I collapsed onto it, my body curling in itself for the experience I had. I didn't dare tear my eyes away from my lap, not ready to get up just yet. I'm hoping that we'll be able to skip through the scenes we've already done, because this is pretty much the same thing. Otherwise, these videos are going to take forever. The voice I heard, however, made my heart stop.
You. What are you doing
Okay,
here?
excellent. Alright, so yeah, we drop into the demon world. Diana's like, what the fuck? She's got all these people here preparing for this thing. We're going to stay still. Obviously. We don't know what's going on. Our secret bay is over there. We can't get out because the Demon Lord's a dick.
Here. I'll bring you to the open ambassador's room. You are free to rest there for now.
Should we be okay with Diana here? Let's just say okay. Let's not be as friendly towards Diana. I was let out of the room and into the hall. Okay. She had a look of concern and pure curiosity on her face as she awaited my answer. Okay, yeah, this is...
Good. A good rest is always important.
Yes.
Especially to humans.
What about demons?
We rest as well, but it's not sleep like you humans do. We simply rest with our eyes open.
Interesting. Why?
It's easier to avoid getting killed when your eyes are open.
I gulped. Were demons really that paranoid, or were they paranoid for a reason? I tend to believe the latter. Alright, let's skip through all this. So should we stay in the room or explore? Last time we stayed in the room. Maybe we'll stay in the room this time too. I feel like we could explore in some other on some other storylines. Like romancing Sam and stuff, we'd probably be more the kind of Anderson to, we'll eat it. Give us the stew. It's delicious. We still can't get out. There's our boys. 4 women dropped down from the tear and somehow managed to fall into the arms of the incubi behind Erik. Alright, I'm excited to see who we have as James's wife.
Whoa!
There's Carrie. She was so awesome in the last, in James's route. She was awesome.
I gotcha.
Nice.
Whoa, are you okay? I gotcha. It's okay.
James!
Oh my gosh! She's so cute! Look at James's wife. She's adorable. Oh my gosh. She's so cute. I love her already. She's great.
Whoa, are you all right?
I stared wide-eyed. Their wives came too? Yep. I watched as the boys and girls finally planted themselves on the ground before me, looking around. As Erik spotted me, however, he began to rush towards me.
Princess!
I wanted to rush back to him. I wanted to run over and wrap my arms around his neck. I missed the lips of his touch, his embrace. The touch of his lip. I'm so tired today, guys, and it is so hot here. Yeah, I think they all married some sort of people. I guess they're all humans or witches. I know Carrie is a witch. Yet my body would not allow me to move forward. In fact, I shied away and hid behind Diana, gripping her waist and averting my eyes from him.
What the?
Still?
I shut my eyes, despite my heart screaming at me to turn towards Erik. I knew that he would enthrall me and break this hold on me, so I wanted to look at him and let him. However, my body continued to duck behind Diana's body, avoiding Erik's gaze. As I heard Erik step forward, Diana wrapped an arm back around her and placed it on my back. For some reason, I felt comforted by her touch. Was she casting a spell on me?
Diana, if you please.
Not until you explain what is going on. Why does she hide from you?
Yo, Diana being an absolute bro. Being like, hey, why is your fiance cowering from you?
I assure you, it's not what you think.
I will not repeat my question.
Oh, Diana! Diana! Bae! I felt Diana's hand clench over my back. I felt a natural elation wash over me at the protection she was providing me, but my heart cried out for Erik.
She does want to see Erik. Something's stopping her from doing that.
Damien! Thank you! Oh my god, Damien! Damien, thank you!
And I'm supposed to believe this.
Please, just let me.
I watched from behind Diana as her guard quickly stepped forward and placed himself between Diana and Erik, spear pointing at my incubus.
I suggest not taking another step forward.
Wait!
The rabbit-eared woman, in the midst of the tension, quickly rushed over to me and bent down to look me directly in the eyes. I looked at her, trying to convey my need to see Erik through my eyes.
Hold still, okay?
What are you?
Ostende mihi kotum.
Oh, what is she casting on us? Staring into the woman's eyes, I watched as a warm golden hue painted over her sweetly pale blue eyes before she closed them. As if something had been unlocked, a large click resonated through my mind. At once, I felt my will take control and I stood up straight, now finally able to do what I desired without any resistance. She blocked or ended whatever was going on with us. Erik! I quickly ran around Diana and rushed towards Erik, wrapping his arms around my arms around his neck and feeling him envelope me in his arms. Envelop, I assume, is what they meant. His warm embrace made my heart squeeze in my chest as I held him close to me. I smiled as Erik kissed over my cheeks, his embrace conveying how beyond happy he was to have me back, willingly in his arms. We're going to kiss him. I tightened my arms around Erik and tilted my head to kiss him. My heart fluttered at the touch and taste of his lips against mine. He eagerly kissed me back, tightening his own hold on me lovingly. Diana turned to the rabbit-eared woman with a look of pure confusion on her face.
What? Just...
She's under some sort of secondary spell. Repulsion, it seems. What I cast on her was an emotional release spell, and that temporarily removed the hold on her.
Temporarily? Okay, so this is still a problem we need to deal with.
But she's been here a full day, and none of us felt any sort of hold on her.
Well, we didn't exactly figure out that she was cursed either.
Cursed?
I felt Erik's hold on me tighten as I looked up at his face. He looked to Diana with an expression full of concern and confusion. As I heard Diana sigh, I turned slightly to watch her cross her arms.
Yes. She's been cursed by the Demon Lord. She cannot leave until she dies or until we kill her.
Yeah, we're kind of stuck here. The Incubi looked at each other in surprise, but Erik kept his eyes to Diana and kept me tight in his embrace.
I'm assuming you plan to kill the Demon Lord, right? When will this happen?
Yes, in 1 week's time.
1 week?
Yeah, here we go with them freaking out.
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
We need to fully prepare ourselves for the final stage, which I'm certain will only take a couple of days. We've pinned him into a corner. The Demon Lord will fall.
Alright, so we'll skip all this. This is all the battle tactics and stuff. We've gone through all this. Okay, so here's the thing, yeah. We say that we can trap him in there. Oh, I forget. Both at the prices, but for the look of it, none. Yeah,
Soulless.
When we finally strike, we will lose hundreds, if not thousands, of soldiers anyway.
But we can't just sit around and...
But is it worth killing someone to try?
Yeah. We decided to go, I believe, with the curse? No, we didn't do the curse last time. An eye for an eye. Oh, shit. Well, I guess we're doing this now. Everyone in the room looked at me in surprise as I finally spoke up. The Demon Lord had trapped me here with the blood of 1,000 demons. It was only fair to trap him with the life of just one. Will the curse work with just one life?
Yes. He won't be able to escape because of its dark magic.
Are you sure this is the best choice?
Well, it's the choice I made, and if I go back, the other one's gonna be grayed out, so... A monster like him won't stop if we box him in. We have to ensure that he won't be able to do anything while we prepare to fight back. Everyone nodded, most in reluctance, while the others did so with confidence. Diana, however, turned to the Orc man with a stern face.
As for your reluctance, Sir Brute, we won't be using one of your men.
Well then, who would you use?
At that moment, Diana smirked, sending a familiar shiver down my spine. For a split second, I swore I saw a flash of gold cross her visible eyes. She replied to Matthew.
A little mongrel who had the nerve to electrocute me in my own castle.
Yay! I stared. There really was an imp in the castle? However, my mind released the question to focus on Diana's smirk. Something was off about Diana, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was. When I came to the demon world, I had barely recognized her and didn't expect her kindness. Now, as I was staring at her in that moment, I again recognized the woman who had attacked me in the human world. Alright, blah, blah, blah.
Actually, I do. You all don't belong on the battlefield.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Huh?
I will not take untrained and unarmed beings into a war zone.
Yeah, she doesn't want us to fight, You know what? We can fight too! Diana squinted at me, pressing her lips together in a fine line. However, I meant what I said. We could fight too.
You expect me to trust that you can fight in a war?
Let me and my brothers train then. We're demons, for fuck's sake. We know how to fight.
Seriously! And we beat the shit out of, what's his name? In the first game. Malix. We beat the shit out of him with our kung fu mastery. So, yeah. The boys stared at Diana, blah, 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 were shocked.
We understand completely.
We understand, Diana.
Okay, this is just switching up the voices, so... here we go.
Wow. Very nice outfit.
I blushed, getting used to the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of my garb. Yeah, we have that awesome corset outfit now. Erik, however, smiled down at me and kissed my forehead.
You look wonderful, princess.
Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to head for the Demon Lord's castle.
Do you plan to shadow travel?
No, I have another method. Don't worry. I'll be back by morning.
Let's hope. Diana looked at Faye and nodded to them as they pressed their lips together in a tight line.
Faye, please escort our guests to the remaining open rooms while I'm gone.
All right.
Set up.
Yes, my lady.
Sarah walked toward Diana and followed her out of the room. The other demons, however, looked towards us.
I'll take you to your rooms then.
Thank you. We truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Faye. My mind for a moment wandered to Diana and remembered her almost evil smirk when we decided to perform the curse. What was she planning to do? Hopefully nothing truly sadistic. That fucker deserves it. That's my opinion. I felt insanely nervous. The entire situation was beyond my imaginations. Stuck in the demon world under two kinds of enchantments? That was unreal, even for me. Still, we were going to work towards finishing this war and getting me home. We had to do everything we can to keep our focus straight. As Erik and I were escorted to our room, I felt the need to cling to Erik's arm. It had only been days since I'd been taken away from the human world, but for the longest time I had to be enthralled to get close to him. Now I was freely and willingly able to hold on to Erik's arm. I don't think we really want to ease off. Yeah, no, we don't want to do that. I couldn't help it. I needed to feel closer to him after all this time. Being separated was not something any bride wanted to be from their soon-to-be partner. I wrapped my arms around Erik's arm, hearing him chuckle and lay his free hand over my arms lovingly.
You know, I wanted to walk down the aisle with you as your husband. I was so worried when you didn't show up to the ceremony.
My heart sank as I looked down. I hadn't wanted to leave him at the altar, but the Demon Lord had other plans. I gritted my teeth before feeling Erik's lips on my temple, causing me to look up at him.
I know it wasn't your doing, love. Don't be upset. You weren't gone long.
Not gone long? I'd been in the Abyssal Plains for a full day. How was that not long? Time works differently, if I remember correctly. How long was I missing for? Erik rubbed his neck and looked away, a small blush forming on his cheeks.
Around 5 hours.
5 hours? I was here a full day. How does that work?
Well, time runs differently here than it does in the human world. In the time it takes for an hour to go by in the human world, 5 go by here in the demon world.
My mind spun slightly at the idea. Time moved differently here? I shook my head and let it go. At least I wasn't gone for long in the human world. But what happened when you found out that I was missing?
Well, your father was demanding that Sam open a missing persons investigation since he's a police officer. Luckily, James was able to calm everyone down, and with Iridessa's energy, he blocked everyone's memory and told them to return home and the real wedding would begin.
Okay, James, you're the real MVP. Our father is hilarious. James can do that?
Only with his wife's help. That gave us time to try to locate you. When we did, we all decided to come through to get you back.
Oh, Iridessa's some kind of supernatural thing then, I guess. Either she's another demon or she's a witch or something. I can only imagine what it had been like. All of them huddled in a room trying to find me. I felt a little flattered, but I knew that it was because they all cared about me, the wives included. I was happy that they did and that I was back with Erik at last. Our walk continued until I entered my old room with Erik. Our guard left us alone, needing to prep for the rest of the day. Erik sat on the bed, ushering me to sit beside him. Like a magnet, I was drawn to him, sitting beside him. Oh, Shelty says if she remembers right, Iridessa is half Fae. Well, that explains it. It was a major relief for my mind to know that everything was going to be taken care of. It was even a larger relief to know that I could be with the man I loved in the meantime. I laid my head on Erik's shoulder as he wrapped an arm around me.
Are you really okay?
I nodded. The only thing that I was going wrong was me being trapped, but there was nothing I could do until we got to the Demon Lord. Erik seemed to know this as well and kissed over my head.
Well, at least you were no longer disgusted by me.
Erik. I was never disgusted by you, I think would be what I would want to say. The feeling of love ran through my body as I settled into the situation. I could finally hold him and love him as I meant to instead of being cruel. It was a blessing. Erik nodded once before hugging me softly to him, laying us back across the bed. I wrapped my arms unconsciously around him and listened to the rhythm of his breathing. It was slow and relaxed, which made me in turn feel at peace.
We'll get to go home soon.
I know. I closed my eyes, letting our embrace slowly entice me to sleep. It didn't bother me that I was dressed with my boots still on. It was such a peaceful transition, I barely felt the shift between being awake and being asleep. I held Erik close to me, listening to his heartbeat. The simple syncopation of it filled my own heart with such joy that I could not deny the smile on my face from stretching further. Whatever had held me for so long no longer had hold of my mind and my body, allowing my heart to once again guide my actions. As I slept, however, a voice I had not heard in a while reappeared.
Why? Why did you do that?
Listen. Listen, kid! I will karate chop you! No, Sam's wife is a witch, Ladybug Queen. Huh? Within the darkness of my dreams appeared a familiar purple orb floating in the vast space. I felt once again charmed by it, but I was more confused as to why it was in my dream and why I had asked such a question.
Why would you do that?
Sam's wife is a witch. She was the one that gave us that wonderful tarot reading in James' room. Do what? Why are you doing what are you doing here?
I don't understand.
Well, what are you doing here? I had to repeat myself. The orb didn't move or change, but something about looking at it made me feel unsure. Why was the spirit haunting me?
I don't understand why you like him.
Why I like Erik? Wait, was the spirit the reason why I was aggressive to Erik? I glared at the orb, suddenly putting 2 and 2 together. You were the one who made me act so cruel towards him?
He's icky. He's an icky man.
Oh my god. He's the man I love, you crazy nut job. I loved him dearly and didn't want to treat him like I did. If I was being forced, then I needed to stop the one who was forcing me.
Loving a person doesn't make them less icky.
That's true. What is so icky about him?
He talks funny. He keeps touching you. He has those...
sex eyes?
Yeah. He's so icky. Icky!
Wow, you're a prude.
I'm not as disgusting as you make me out to be, Spirit.
Oh, hey, Erik!
I'm not as disgusting as you...
My heart jumped at the sound of Erik's voice. In front of me appeared a reddish shadow of which quickly formed itself into Erik. The orb seemed to pulsate at the sight of him.
Icky man.
My name is Erik, and you are not welcome in my princess's dreams or her body.
You're not either.
Erik! Erik looked back at me and smiled before stepping forward, making the orb back away a bit. I couldn't tell if it was in fear or anger, but the pulsing energy around the orb seemed to become larger at Erik's stare.
My duty is to protect my princess from anything that threatens her. You, rogue spirit, are considered a threat.
All you do is touch her and take her energy.
That's not true.
What else does the icky man do?
I opened my mouth to retort back, but suddenly froze, feeling my thoughts escape me. For some reason, I couldn't remember anything else Erik had done except for what the spirit said. He would kiss me, hold me, and take my energy. This was wrong. Something was definitely wrong. Why couldn't I pin down more things Erik did for me? I held my head and shut my eyes, trying to focus harder on my thoughts. Erik, however, stepped towards the orb, a group of ethereal tendrils emerging from his back.
That's enough. You don't belong here, spirit.
I expected the spirit to fight back, but it didn't say anything more. After a moment of silence, the spirit faded into the darkness of the dream. Erik and I both let a small sigh of relief.
Are you okay?
I'm better now, I suppose. Erik nodded before wrapping his arms around me.
I swear that I will keep you safe.
The words Erik spoke resounded in my chest, making me feel light and believe every word that escaped his lips. I felt safe enough just to hear his determination. Still, I couldn't help but feel a small restlessness in my body, despite being in a dream. I thought that sleeping would help my anxiousness at the situation I was in, but it only made me more worried. With this new fear in my mind, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hold out until we defeated the Demon Lord. A spirit was really actually haunting my thoughts. This was insane, to say the least. I would tell the bunny lady if I were you, because, you know, she was able to help before. So the spirit was quelled for now, at least until we found a new way to expel it from my body. I woke that morning before Erik, physically refreshed but mentally troubled. The event that ran through my dreams both bewildered me and scared me. How long was the spirit going to be stuck to me? A knock at my door interrupted my thoughts and woke Erik. We need to do something to help it move on, obviously.
Who's there?
It's us. We brought food.
Can we come in?
Huh? Sure. The thought of food made me relax a bit and forget about the circumstances I was in. The door opened to reveal the other incubi and their wives, holding plates of food. James and Iridessa, however, each carried 2 full plates, passing one to me and Erik.
Oh, thank you, James.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
You'll never guess who prepared it, though.
My mind instantly went to Matthew or James. They were usually the ones who made food when they lived in my house. Still, it could have been Damien as well. But then my mind cycled to the rebel leaders in Diana. We were in their castle as their guests, so it would make sense if they made us food. Looking down at my plate, I noted the section of food. Fruit slices, bread, cheese, and some form of meat jerky. It seemed native to the demon world, but it was indeed human food. Using process of elimination, I decided it was probably Diana.
How did you both sleep? Our rooms are on the opposite end of the hall, so we didn't know how you two were doing.
Did you two get to catch up?
Wow, Matthew! Matthew! You have a wife to take care of those urges for you. Don't go nosing into my business.
Please, Matthew. They obviously did more than catch up. A bit of Twilight Tango? Sensual salsa? I bet he dipped right in.
Oh my god.
Well...
Erik and I looked at each other, ignoring Noreen's innuendo as we thought of the seriousness of the situation. Did we want to tell them what was going on? Yes, yes. Explain everything! I hate dumb characters, damn it! Just tell them! I didn't want Erik to be the one to explain. The spirit was in my body and it was my problem. I motioned for Erik to eat before turning to the group and starting my explanation. Well, there's something we found out last night. If I hadn't been in control of myself because of something.
What did you find out?
Ooh.
Wait, you're not saying that... Hey, are you pregnant?
Whoa, that's a crazy assumption. Erik choked. I quickly turned my head to see Erik covering his mouth and coughing almost violently, most likely trying to not suffocate on the food in his mouth. He quickly swallowed his food and smiled painfully at the group.
No. She is not pregnant.
Yeah, no, we're not at that point yet. Although, Shelties has told me that if you take the opportunity to sleep with your chosen incubus at every point possible, apparently that's exactly what happens, but Erik was right. This is a whole different matter. For a second, I wondered what Erik thought about the question, but more importantly, we needed to let the group know what was going on.
Is having a child that bad?
The room around me seemed to freeze as the spirit's voice appeared in the air. I looked around and noticed that everyone, including Erik, was still. What?
The icky man doesn't think so.
What do you mean? In the middle of the room, the spirit appeared, making me gasp. It floated over to Erik and spun around his head, making him light up slightly.
Well, if she were pregnant, I'd be able to expand my legacy.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna... I could see Erik wanting to be a father. Erik? Was that really what he was thinking? He wanted children to expand... No. No, this is a trick. I glared at the orb as it finally moved back to the center of the room. You're lying to me. Whatever you're trying to do won't work.
I'm not doing anything. Just look at him.
I did, wanting to prove the spirit wrong. However, my eyes couldn't lie to me. He had a nervous, almost pondering smile on his face, as if he was keeping quiet about his thoughts. Were the thoughts I heard really Erik's?
He's an icky man.
Oh yeah, wanting to have children with his wife. That's a terrible thing. Would you stop saying that?
It's true. He wants to make babies with you. You heard so yourself.
He didn't say that. But in a way, he did. Expand his legacy? Who says that? Then again, the look on his face couldn't lie to me. The more I gazed into his eyes, the more I could see a form of disappointment. Was I overthinking it?
He keeps touching you and trying to make you feel good. He wants to make you have his babies.
I don't think we really need to say anything. I didn't know what to say, truly. I couldn't exactly lie and say that I wasn't somehow convinced of what I was shown. Still, I wanted to trust in Erik, and we still needed to fix the spirit haunting issue. I looked at the floating orb, seeing it bob up and down in place. So how long do you plan on sticking around?
Sticking around?
How long do you plan on being in my body?
Oh. I don't know.
It didn't know? I wanted to stand up, but I felt my body stay in place. I guess in whatever phase the spirit had me in, it could only shift my head, but not move me from my spot. That only proved that this was in my head. You don't know.
I don't know.
How do you not know?
I just don't. I tried, but I can't get out.
Yeah, we need to bring this spirit to peace, whatever it is. This is proving to be useless. A child like an innocent sounding this is I'm having a day today. I can't deal with these visual novels, guys. As childlike and innocent sounding as the spirit was, this conversation was obviously going to go nowhere. I sighed and lowered my head, closing my eyes.
I was trapped when I died too, you know?
Huh? I looked up at the spirit, suddenly curious. They were trapped when they died? As the world began to move around me, the orb vanished without a trace.
We have a different issue. My princess is being haunted by a spirit.
A spirit? But I can't hear its thoughts.
Oh, that's not good.
You can't catch everything, Damien.
That doesn't make sense. If a spirit's inside of her body, we would have sensed it.
That's the odd part. There's someone within her, but they are not powerful enough to be pinned down. It's as if...
It's as if...
It's a child.
Yes. Yes! How did you know?
Spirits of children are extremely versatile, miss. They are smaller and less noticeable than a regular spirit, but their emotions run just as high, if not higher, making them more powerful.
Also, don't call me miss. I'm gonna be your sister-in-law, dude, alright?
So a child made you fight Erik?
Yes, it also called Erik the Icky Man.
Well, you were for a long time, dude.
Matthew! He's like, well, you were kind of like a disgusting dog for a while there, Erik.
That was before I met my princess.
I looked to Erik as he looked back to me. His eyes were full of love and appreciation as he smiled down at me, making a small blush run across my cheeks. Erik gently lifted his hand and caressed my cheek, making my face warm up to his touch.
You changed me for the better and turned me into a proper man. I would never wish for you to feel that I am disgusting.
Erik. Erik was so sweet to think of me. I loved him for everything that he was and is. He was occasionally perverted and seductive now and then, but that was part of the charm I fell for. He was still my Erik. As I kissed his cheek, Erik gasped and I could feel a quick-forming warmth appear on his cheek under my lips. I pulled away and noticed a red tint across his face, but a loving smile still plastered on his expression.
Should we leave? They look like they're ready to make those babies now. Ow!
Knock it off, Matthew.
Before anyone could laugh, however, another knock appeared at the door. Who is it?
Diana, dear. May I come in?
Sure, come on in. As Diana entered, the room became silent. Her guard, Sarah, followed behind Diana and stepped in the room as well, closing the door for her. He remained by the door as Diana looked at my plate.
Did you not enjoy breakfast? I can make you something else if you'd like.
Huh? I quickly looked down at my plate, realizing I'd barely touched the food. I shook my head and looked up at Diana. No, this is great. We were just talking.
I see.
Thank you for breakfast, by the way.
My pleasure. I'm sorry that it's not much, but it's something to fill the stomach.
It's all good. It's better than that stew that everyone else was eating.
We had stew?
Trust me, don't worry about it. You're not missing much.
Indeed. Anyways, I came by to ask you something, dear.
Huh? Ask me what?
What exactly is going on? What was controlling you last night when your husband came around?
Right. Diana still didn't know what happened. Oh, well, we were just talking about that. As I stared at Diana, I felt something inside me grow very happy. Why wouldn't I be? She was feeding us and making me sure we were at least comfortable. Guys! I think this spirit might be the spirit of somebody who is only attracted to women. Or at least doesn't like men for some reason. Because it seems to want us to be happy at the thought of Diana. Yeah, no, even though they're incubi, I don't believe any of them actually slept with anyone until we got to them. Shelty says, let's be honest here. It could be a lesbian spirit or some kind of queer spirit that's into women and not men. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Hell, he was going to break the curse on me and kill the demon lord. At least I hoped he would. Still, something felt odd about the way I felt. I shook my head and turned to Erik. He nodded and looked at Diana, causing her attention to turn to him.
A rogue spirit has taken refuge in her body.
A spirit?
How? We felt no such.
It's a child, Diana.
A mere child? What kind of child has that much anger and sadness that they can control a human body?
One that was trapped when it died, according to the child.
My lady, if I may.
Everyone in the room, myself included, looked to Sarah, who had stepped forward by Diana's side. Diana took a moment to watch Sarah, measuring his intentions before nodding and stepping back. With a nod, Sarah turned away from her and looked to me. Sarah stepped in my direction before pointing his spear up and pointing at me. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
What are you doing?
Without answering, Sarah began to stare at me intensely. The spear in his hand began to glow a bright gold and white color, making me that much more concerned.
Sanctus et hus exiamentes!
He's trying to... Demons, be gone! The power of Christ compels you! Before anyone could jump at Sarah, the guard leaned forward merely an inch towards me, pressing the spear closer to my body. However, it was stopped by a bright white magic barrier that suddenly formed around my body and the sound of a child screaming. The cry rang violently in my head, causing me to grip my head in pain. Ah! Again. Woo!
Princess!
Erik reached for me but found himself pressing against the shield as well, unable to get close to me. The sharp tip of Sarah's spear pressed against the barrier, causing light ripples to wave from it. Sarah pushed the spear harder, trying to pierce through. The screaming, however, intensified in my head with each push.
What in the seven hells?
What is this thing?
I've never seen magic like that before.
I can hear it. The spirit is crying inside her head. It's hurting her.
Damn it!
Sarah finally pulled back and stepped away from me. The glow around his spear vanished and Sarah looked at Diana. The screaming in my mind stopped at last and the barrier finally vanished, allowing Erik to wrap his arms around me and pull me close to him.
This spirit is extremely powerful, my lady. Powerful enough to block holy magic.
Oh, shit.
That's impossible.
Oh, see, I just had a thought, and then I turned to the chat, and Ladybug Queen just had the same exact thought. This motherfucker demon lord, who says that he stopped taking women after this? Maybe this is the guy's little sister? Or something like that? I mean, she would have nothing but older brothers. You know, I can understand why. That is definitely an idea, and I think it's funny that I had this thought at the same time that Ladybug Queen did. I quivered in Erik's embrace, feeling the after effects of the sudden event hit my body like a wave. My nerves were vibrating and every hair on my body was on edge. My eyes, despite this, looked at Diana and Sarah. Diana looked at me and suddenly glared.
Clever spirit.
Clever spirit? What do you mean?
Look at who the spirit is haunting. She's practically bleeding into waves of energy. The spirit must be consuming it to survive and use its abilities.
The entire room looked at me and I could see in their eyes that she was right. Was I really that full of energy? What kind of energy? How did the amount of energy I have affect this?
The spirit is a demon, then?
Well, just because she's their sister doesn't mean she wouldn't call him the Icky Man. I mean, I wouldn't be happy at the thought of, you know, my brother trying to bang some chick whose body I was in.
Only a demon could make a barrier like that.
But a barrier against holy magic?
It's unheard of.
Not necessarily. If a demon is powerful enough, they can block holy magic, but it takes a large amount of energy.
We have to find another way to expel it. If holy magic won't work, something else will. Spirits can't bind themselves to living bodies forever.
I'm sorry, Deslin.
Yeah, we'll get this spirit out one way or another.
Would we? The spirit was powerful enough to fight back against holy magic, which apparently was powerful on its own. I became nervous once again. Erik, feeling me tense up in his arms, gave my body a small squeeze in comfort. I closed my eyes, feeling his warmth slowly but surely calming me down.
Whatever the case may be, I'm sure we've at least weakened it. It shouldn't attempt to control you again, at least for today.
Thank you. Diana ran a hand through her hair and looked around the room, pressing her lips into a... Okay, this is... Yelling at us, blah, blah, blah. Oh, God! Alright, so we trained with Sarah last time. So maybe we should pick another trainer this time. Diana ran her hand through her hair, looking to the sides as she listed off each leader and their skills.
Sergeant is a brute demon, bred from a nomadic tribe. He most likely teach you the ways of the brute demon, using your fists and speed to keep you alive. Shadow is, by definition, a shadow demon. So he'd probably teach you about dark magic, light manipulation, and assassination.
Oh my god, that sounds badass! Also, Shadow is our bae!
Rabbit is a wild magic-based animal demon, using her animal-focused energy as her weapon. She'd probably teach you how to do this.
That sounds like something from Matthew's room.
Faye? I am honestly not sure. I know they can change their size and use elemental magic as well. But to be honest, I do not know what they would teach you.
Oh, I think we should find out. I choose Faye. Diana raised an eyebrow but nodded. Faye was a wild card, so who knew what they would teach me? Still, my curiosity was getting the better of me and I knew it. I'd try it. With that, Diana turned on her heel and left the room.
Finish eating. Afterwards, you should start training.
Everyone in the room nodded their affirmation as Diana and Sarah left.
Well, it looks like we'll be busy for the next couple of days.
This'll be fun.
Man, training's gonna suck.
Yeah, training sucks. Alright. I reported to a large grand hall. Apparently it was strictly to be used for... Oh god, I'm sorry. I just got a bad wave of dizziness. Oh god. My allergies are killing me today, and it is so hot. We've been at this for about an hour and a half, so I might stop here and pick this up tomorrow. At tomorrow's 2 p.m. stream. We could probably finish Erik's route tomorrow. Man. I also haven't saved it all. That's not a good thing. Yeah, I think I might stop for now. This heat is really getting to me. And, my allergies are sucking. And we've been at this for an hour and a half. We could probably finish this tomorrow. Yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. As always, stream time. More Mass Effect 3. Fun times and stuff and things. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll obviously be hanging out in the chat and on Discord and everything as always. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye.